All right, let's talk about Liverpool then. Liverpool now, not Liverpool then. Stevie would like to be talking about Liverpool then and their struggles. Stevie, Robbo, has finally conceded that it maybe is time for Arne Slot to move on. What do you think of that?
Finally conceded. I've listened to him the last 3 weeks and he's rubbish Arne Slot and Liverpool and said how poor they are. So I think he was sort of going down the route that Arne Slot was going to go or needs to go. I saw them at the weekend and I thought they started the game okay. The first 15, 20 minutes they played with a bit of purpose. There was quite good link-up play between Wirtz and the centre forward, Ekitike. They were dominating midfield. But as soon as they went a goal down, everything came to a halt. They stopped closing the ball down. They lost confidence. You can see there's no confidence in the team. The manager now isn't quite sure how to change things. The players aren't quite sure how to change things. And instead of them working harder, they take their foot off the pedal because they're not quite sure what they should be doing. You know, when the Van Dijk, if you look at some of the goals that have gone in, you can't say he's at fault, but he hasn't done enough to close the ball down. He hasn't read the danger. And that has come because he's not full of confidence. He's not reading the game. He's not alive and alert. And you can say that about nearly every Liverpool player at the moment. When they're playing well, it's okay, as they did against Galatasaray in the first 20 minutes against Man City. As soon as one or two things go wrong, then it all falls apart. And that's where a good coach, a good manager and a good leaders on the field stop it at source. And that's not happening with Liverpool at the moment.
So what would you say, Robbo, if I were to ask you whether they should keep him or not?
I would say he's got to go. He's got to go because you can see that he's not able to change things. The players aren't able to change things. I think his time has come. I think he did a great job last year. It was a hard transition from Jurgen Klopp to him. He did it brilliantly. This year with the changes, you thought they were going to be even better because some of the players they bought I thought were going to be exceptional. They haven't been so. He hasn't quite got the balance right. They're not playing with the same intensity. The confidence has gone out the team. And at the moment, it doesn't look as though he's going to get it back. And that's when the manager has to go.
Let's head to the orange corner, the Dutch corner, with Mario, if we may, and continue this conversation on what should happen with Slot and what the feeling is in the Netherlands about it right now, Mario.
It's not good. You know, I feel sorry for him too, you know, because the way his team is playing, it's giving me the feeling like the grip is gone. And when the grip goes, that's when the difficulty comes in. Look, he has still got a couple of games left because I don't think they should make a change, of course. This will be crazy. If you make the change now, you got to finish the season. And then you just got to sit down and make sure that you have a hard talk in the sense of like, if there is no future planning for the club and they want to move away from the way they want to play and the way he wants to play, yeah, then you have to make a decision. But away from there, when I watched the game, I was like, what's happening? You understand? Like Robert said, they started well, but Haaland, one of the key things, if you get, like, we're talking about Haaland that he has an okay season, but he scored 46 goals in 50 games in one season, and this season, and then you could see how they were defending him. That for me was the biggest question mark. The kid was on the move, and that's the most hardest part, of course. When a striker is on the move, it's very hard to stop him. But every time he was on the move, both of the guys were looking, where is he? Because they were always a second too late. And I feel like, yeah, guys, you understand, the problem is not only the coach. I think also the lines between the team, it's too packed, they're too stretched, there's no system. And I think the team looks really bad at the moment.
All right, let's talk about Van Dijk then while we are in this Dutch corner, because Robbo did bring him up, Mario. It wasn't his best game against Man City, that's fair to say.
Always a second too late, and that becomes a problem because when you get older, normally you become, what I say, I don't call you old, I call you seasoned, because then you understand the game better, you read the game better. But now he gives me a feeling that he's doing a step back, and if he doesn't, step that up, the World Cup will be a very tough journey for him because it's a totally different system he plays in Holland and the one he plays at Liverpool. At Liverpool, you stay compact and try. Okay, they're not now, but they normally have that. And Holland, they demand a lot more for him in the sense of like taking more risk with having the ball and try to dictate the tempo sometimes from the back. And I think that's going to be a tough one. So he's got to be really careful if he keeps going like this.
Yeah, there were some errors on the pitch in this game, Robbo. You were on the call for it. There were some errors in the dugout as well when Ryan Cherky almost committed quite the faux pas by putting on a shirt that he'd swapped on.
Yeah, interesting. He had a brilliant game. He gets a round of applause, a standing ovation off the crowd. and he gets substituted, and he decides to go across to the Liverpool bench, get the shirt of Ekitike, and then put it on, backwards by the way. And somebody I think two of his teammates get that off pretty quickly because it doesn't look good. And quite rightly, he got the shirt off quickly. But what was he doing going across to Ekitike while the game's still going on and getting his shirt?
What was he doing, Mario?
They were buddies. I think they're buddies in French, right? So, but he's got that a little bit carried away because sometimes you also can make a joke at each other in the sense of like, I put your jersey on, but you know who's the winner. This is you know, Ekitike, and I think they what I said in the national team. But Turkey is also, we have to remember, Turkey was also one of the contenders that Liverpool was looking at. And you don't do that. No, you don't put the jersey on because you're going to put yourself in trouble. And I don't think he should. I'm happy that someone at the back told him, because it can be very sensitive and it can hit wrong. And it definitely was going to hit wrong. So it's good he took it off.
Yeah, okay. So that's that on that. Lots to discuss.